Hello everyone, how you guys doing? I hope you guys are fine. It's nice having you guys again watching my YouTube channel. Please, if you know you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do it to subscribe to get update when I upload any of my YouTube video. My name is Andranalin, the Bazooka Prophet. Greetings all the way from Nigeria, Edo State, Benin City. Now, today we'll be working on a very interesting subject that has been a problem to many students all around the world, that have made many of them feel that uh, 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 the concept of life sciences is difficult. But today I'll prove it to you that it is not difficult. Now, and our heading here is what we call an easy approach in drawing out those sugars. When we're done with that, we'll enter another easy approach in drawing the ketose sugar. I'll be starting with the tetroses, or we'll start what we call the aldotetrose. And when you have the word aldotetrose, it means that the aldo from the aldehyde functional group and the the aldose tetrose 4 carbon are involved. So I'll be giving you easy approach to that one first. I'll give you the shortcut. Please, it is very easy. Now let's move. In drawing for that of the uh, aldotetrose, we start with the first one. Just take note. This is this is the functional group. The second carbon, the third carbon, and the fourth carbon. Now, in this first one, just know that all this one, in fact, the best way to know all of them is knowing fully well that in the first one, all the hydroxy group are in the right hand side. Just take note of that particular point. Look at it now. The hydroxy group is on one side. And please take note, we have two chiral center here, or two stereo center. It is this last chiral center that determines the movement, whether it will be D or L. If the OH is to the right, simple approach, it will be called a D sugar. But if this OH was to be here, it will be called an L sugar. All right, it's called that. It's called D. That's why when everything will be changing for the second, third, fourth carbon, the last chiral carbon does not change. Just take note for the easy approach. This is what we call a D-erythrose. A D-erythrose. Quickly we move. In the second one here, the same 4 carbon too. The same 4 carbon. Take note. Now, this is for the first carbon. Now, for the second carbon, now, the OH will now fall to the left hand side. So, it means that there will be HO, there will be H, there will be OH. Now, remember, I have told you earlier that this last chiral center for all the sugars that are to be drawn does not move. It remains where they are. So every other point will be changing. Like this one now, in the case of carbon 2 here, now observe the OH was on the right. But in the case of this other D-triose in carbon 2, it now changed. So these are the only two forms we have for the aldotetrose, which is ET, which is erythrose and triose. Another point you know that, remember now, previous video I told you what they call epimers. That epimers are sugars that differ in only one carbon configuration. So you can as well say that D-erythrose is a carbon 2 epimer of D-triose. All right. So next one is what we call the aldopentose, meaning an aldehyde having a 5 carbon atom. Now the rule that we did for the first one still applies to this one. Now for the first one, all the OH should be on the right hand side. Take note, simple shortcut. So we'll start with this one, which is, I'm making it big so that you can see it clearly. This is 5 carbon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, all the OH on one side, all the OH on one side. Now, remember, I told you that every other thing will be moving except this. All the chiral centers will be moving except the last chiral center, which is this is to the right, which is D. Now, this is D ribose. Now, in the second one, this one will not change. This carbon 2 will not change. The OH will not turn again. So everything still remain intact. One, two, three, four, five. Okay. Now carbon 2 here now. Here will become H. Here HO. Every other thing will still remain the same. And this is what we call a D-arabinose. I'll move to the second one, which is the third one now. Everything now, this is okay. 1, that's 2, 3, 4, then 5. Now, in this case here now, please take note, not difficult at all. We are making use of the D ribose as our template. Carbon 2 here change. In this other structure here, this carbon 3 here now that will not change now. This carbon 3 here now, so it means here remain intact. Here will not change to become. So understand the format. It is not. I am drawing it so that you will not see it to be difficult at all. That's why I am drawing it. I would have as well just put on the board for you to see. No, I'm making it so that if I can do it, then you too, my brother, my sister, you can do it even much more better because your brain is enhanced and God has blessed everybody with a good brain, and you are not an exception to the rule. So let's fall back to this. So this D arabinose as okay. Now the next one is as D. This one is what we call the D lysos. Now the last one. Now remember, I have told you that this last chiral center don't move, and because it does not move, so it means that the changes will now have to come from the two hydrogen here will now be moved. Since we don't move this one, and we have already moved this second carbon, third carbon, the last carbon, which the last chiral carbon that does not move, it means we have to now fall back to the two. Since this one has moved before, this one has not moved, so now the two will now move now to give us the last structure, which is what we have right here. So this one still remain intact. H, HO. Now this is what we call the D lysos. Now in a short, you'll be wondering, is this thing happening? Like, how am I be able to recognize them? Try to devise your own shortcut on how to give your own name and acronyms. For mine, I make it with the RAXN. In our Nigerian tune, we call it RAS. When you say something is RAS, mean person don't cast. So this is RAS. As arrow stands for a ribose sugar, arabinose, the xylose, and the lysos. Lastly, is for the aldoses. Alright. So the next in our video right now, which is the aldoses, which is an aldehyde functional group and containing a 6 carbon. So we start with the first one. It's very, very easy. The same rule we did. Very, very easy. So let's continue. Okay. Now the first one I have to work on so all the hydroxyl group will be on the right hand side, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. The right hand side, which is this becomes our template. And this is called our template, and this is called the D-allose. Now the second one, if you move down here, carbon 2 now. So we move it down here, which is, let me demarcate it so it can be easy for you to follow. Now we'll move here. 1, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, then 6. Here, carbon 2. Change this number here. So we're having HO here, we're having H here, then every other thing remain intact. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is what we call the D arthros. That's the D arthros. So I'll demarcate it again. You see how heavy it is. That's why you'll be doing it in this thing. Remember that you don't touch this last chiral center. Because for an aldose, you have 4 chiral center. Take note. So we continue. Now we move to the other one. CHO 2, 3, 4, 5, then 6. Then yeah. Remember? Now you have done for this one, move to this one now. So here becomes OH, here becomes H, becomes OH, OH, okay, H. So that is just how it is. Now this is what we call the D-glucose. I hope you are following. So let's continue. Now we'll move to the other one again. CHO, which is the functional group. 2, 3, 4, 5, then 6. Then remember, we have done for this one, what we have done for this carbon 3 now, to move to carbon 4, which is 1, 2, 3, 3. Remember that this is the template. So here remain intact, then here H. That is how. So when people begin to complain that that it is difficult, prove to them that it is not. It's as easy as that. This one is called the D-glucose. The D-glucose. Now, we remember that we can't touch this one, this last chiral center. So we then move to changes of the other carbons. Now, this is our focus now. Now remember here, we come here, CHO, second carbon, third, fourth, fifth, then sixth. Now, remember, I have is to picture it. If I'm having an aldose here, so it means if I remove this H here, this H here is already there. I have to remove another H from here. So here is H, here is H, everything remain the same. Say it now. So this is what we call the what now? The D-mannose. The D-mannose. Now we've been able to draw for 4 here, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Now we have been able to draw for 5 aldoses here. So let's now move to the drawings of the other 3 that are left under this family, this group. So we move to the other one. Move again, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then 6. Now this is the functional group. This is the alcohol. Now this is the last chiral center. Now remember, we have done for we have moved for that of the aldose. So let's now move from. Let's see what we can derive from glucose. Let's see what we can derive from glucose. Then we'll move straight down here. It means carbon for glucose. We are having carbon 3 here. So we have to now remove this one to again to come to the other side there. So we move straight down here. So here is OH, here is H, then here now is not H. Just follow me. It's HO, here is HO. Sorry, okay. Now this is what we call a digalactose. galactose. A D-galactose. They will move straight away to another of this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then 6. Functional group, the last chiral center. Now, in the case, let's go from glucose. From glucose here now, I have to remove from. This already removed from. Since we have here, so we have to move up again too. So we can move, we can turn here. So here now becomes H, HO. Then here remain intact. Here also remain intact. So this is what we call a D-E-dose. Then lastly is to move all of them to become HH here. So move straight down. This is 1. This is 2. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, then 6. The functional group H, H, H. Then the last chiral center. Okay. So this is what we call the D-talose. And that's a basic one that we must know here. That D-glucose is a carbon 2 epimer of D-mannose. Again too, D-glucose is a carbon 4 epimer of D-galactose. And a lot of persons are able to derive some acronyms for it, but mine, I had to derive mine. There's a tool we normally use in my place in Edo State, and the shortcut I was able to derive from mine is I was able to know it is all altruist margarita. Whereby the allose, the atros, the glucose, the gulose, the mannose, the galactose, the idose, and the talose are all altruist margarita. Yeah, I know it looks funny, but there are still others too. There are still others. Some can also say all altruist gladly makes gum in gallon tanks. So this is another shortcut you can also use to remember the 8 aldoses. The allose, the atros, GL stands for glucose, MA, mannose, gulose, idose, galactose, and talose. For now, you are done with this particular video. Please do well to subscribe. I remember Aldose and Drawing Aldose, the BAZUKA prophet. Love you guys. You are the best.